Hey guys, Becca here. I'm here to explain to you uh, a really rare genetic disorder that not very many people know about, progeria. Progeria is actually a single gene mutation, laminin A, LMNA. An abnormal version of laminin A causes a protein called progerin, and this protein actually makes the nucleus envelope unstable, and it causes it to be damaged, which causes the aging of cells and premature death, which is actually what progerin is. It's the aging of young children. Um, so the history, it was first described in England in 1886 by Jonathan Hutchins, and later on it um, was also named in 1897 by him and Dr. Hastings Gilford. That's why it's also known as Hutchins-Gilford disease. However, the interesting thing is, much research hasn't been done about it until the 1990s. Though there's no cure for progeria, a scientist at Fred Hutchins Cancer Research Center found a protein that may help reshape the nucleus. Now, this would help for countless of genetic disorders, but for progerin in itself, it would help tremendously. I have a picture here, and you can see some of the traits, like the lower jaw is smaller than normal, the head's actually bigger than the facial features. You see some hair loss here, including even the eyebrows. And then you can also see that there's a lack of body fat and muscle. You can see some veins that are visible. And when they talk, they usually have a high-pitched voice. So diagnosis is actually done at normal checkups, because when a child with progeria is born, they're born looking normal, just like any other child, till about a year and a half old. However, their life expectancy is between 8 and 21. The average in itself is 13 years old. The rapid aging actually leads to heart problems, which is the main cause of death, strokes and heart attacks. Here are some aging examples. You get them very young, like this one starts at 4 months, this one 2 weeks, this one 1 year. And you can see how they look normal at the beginning. But as the progeria goes on and on, you can actually see how they progress into looking older. You see the rapid aging, especially in this top one up here. That goes all the way up till he's 12 years old. Even though they look differently and they have health problems, of course, they actually are just like any other kid. They have friends, they love to do tea parties like over here. They go to school, like this gentleman here, he's in the band. They're just like regular kids. There's actually conventions for progeria. There's only 9 cases in the United States, so it's really good for them to have conventions to go to, so they can see that they're not, well, they're different, but they're not isolated to just being themselves. They can go and they can see other children with the same disease and know they're not alone. This actually helps with the parents too, because then the parents have the support system that they need for raising a child with progeria. You can also see in this slide some more pictures of some hobbies that they like to do, and a group of friends up here taken at one of the conventions. Treatment and management. So sunscreen is very important for progeria because of their skin, but also small meals a day help maximize the calorie intake. They have dental problems that are common and they need regular visits. They actually take medications like low-dose aspirin and everything for the heart disease risk, and also to treat headaches and seizures, because some of them actually end up having seizures. It's rather common. In this case study, there's actually a 20-year-old male that showed signs of progeria ever since 6 months. So it's rather interesting to look at this case study because, one, the average is 13 years old, and he's older than that. But also, you can see he's got similarities and everything that go along with progeria. But the radiologist actually examined him, his skull, his chest, and his extremities were within normal limits. Although the features of left ventricle failure, so he's got some similarities to progeria, but he also has some differences that actually aren't signs of progeria. So this was rather interesting to find. There's actually no heredity risk, they say, with this gene. This is actually an autosomal dominant trait. So this is a very rare, random trait, basically. However, and here's the catch, it's not passed down in families like other genetic mutations. It's about a 1 in 8 million chance. However, because of this condition, right here, a parent who has a child with progeria, their chances of having another child with progeria actually grow to about 2 to 3%. This means that one of the parents is actually a carrier of the gene themselves, but they don't have progeria themselves. So it's rather interesting because you will find that progeria is not hereditarily passed down, but it does say that parents can be carriers. So it's quite interesting to see how that kind of contradicts to everything. And the evolutionary tree, it's actually rather cool because you can see right here in this generation here goes to our Homo sapiens with progeria. And then, of course, you got all different kinds of monkeys and everything. But if you look over here, you get the sperm whale, the bison, and you even get this walrus over here. So it's kind of interesting to see how the progerian gene actually connects on the evolutionary tree. And there's my sightings. Y'all have a good day. I hope y'all learned something about progeria.